Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. Is up, Micah, man?
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How you doing, man?
Wonderful. It's the first of the month.
Wake up. Hey.
Grab your checks and get up. The first of the month, baby. On this wonderful, beautiful episode 320 of your favorite short-term, mid-term, long-term, pad split, anything we talk about. We talk about it, anything and everything on this show, podcast in the world called Live, Let, Thrive. And y'all been here for the whole journey, and the journey keeps going, baby.
Yes, sir. It is the first of the month, and this is a real estate investor's favorite time of the month.
Oh, well, is that
depending on what kind of tenant you have?
and that's funny because it does, what kind of tenants you have, plus what kind of landlords you have. Because in our business, arbitrage is pretty strong. Yeah. We arbitrage still. Although I'm trying to kind of go away from that some, you know what I'm saying, by purchasing the future Airbnbs and midterms and stuff, and pad splits, of course. But yeah, so we got to pay out a lot of money on the first of the month. It's pretty comical how much we got to pay out, but we receive a lot of money on the first of the month, and that's good. Yeah. If everything works out good, if they pay us on time, and we pay out on time, if there's that little gray area, you're like, oh shit, are we gonna make it?
Yeah, I've been there, bro. I've been there.
Where's my money? I need my money.
Boy, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But so there's the first of the month can be a very stressful time for real estate folks, even just ones that just own houses, because like you said, you're relying on those tenants to pay you. And you don't got no drama that month, you know what I'm saying? So it's and then of course when you're dealing with Airbnb on top of that, and corporate rentals on top of that, and then trying to find out which corporate companies have sent you the money, because when they send it all through ACH, it all looks the same with all the weird codings and stuff, and just it's a lot to keep track of. So first of the month can be a little stressful, but I say around the 4th or 5th is like, oh, okay, everything's settling in now, the money starts growing again. It's nice.
Yeah, man, I know what you mean. See, and that's why I always say, I'm going to be honest with you, that is why I don't like traditional long term. That is why I like either Section 8 short terms and midterms, because it's a different type of clientele. That's me personally.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And with Section 8, I think I'm going to go ahead and Section 8 that condo, the one in the over there, what's it called? Stop 6?
Stop 6? I didn't know you had nothing to Stop 6, bro.
Well,
dang.
It's close to that area by the Channel 11 tower, across from the Potter's house. Yeah, so not exactly deep in, but it's adjacent. So I might go back to doing some Section 8 on that one, because I've been getting a lot of bites on people trying to buy it, but then I get people saying, "Oh, can you owner financing it to me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm already owner financing it from somebody." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just getting a lot of tire kickers. So I'm like, man, I need to go ahead and get some Section 8 folks in there and start making that income.
I have a question for you, because you said that it's a condo. What is it, like a 2-bedroom condo, 1-bedroom? What is it?
So it's a 2-bed, 2-bath, and it had like a dining area in the middle that was kind of closed off. I went ahead and added a wall on there and a door to make it like a 3rd bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I kind of did some pad split stuff before I even was considering pad split. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do some value add to it.
So I'm happy you brought that up, because I have a question for you. Because I have a friend, he's trying to get into midterm rentals as well, but he found a condo. He found a duplex, but the duplex was 2-bed, 2-bath on each side. And he was like, hey, how much is it rent for? And I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't really know the 2-bedroom market like that, because I'm like, all my midterms are all 3 bedrooms. And I told him my story of, hey, I had the difference between, I had the option of a triplex that was all 2-2s and a duplex that was a 3-2. And I was like, I went with the duplex. One, it's a rare find to find a 3-2 duplex, right? So I told him, and I know the market of the 3-2s. I know how much I can get. what are you seeing for the market on midterm or corporate rentals for two bed, two bath, and for like one bed, one bath? All right, if you're still in that market.
I don't see hardly any demand. It's weird. I don't see hardly any demand for the two bedroom, two baths. And I do see demand for one bedroom, one bath because usually it's just one person coming to town,
Yeah.
business, or one person coming to town to look for scout out a home or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I see, of course, a lot of demand for three twos, more demand for four twos.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing people wanting five bedrooms. So so it's like, but that weird, that two, I don't get a lot of demand for that, man. I mean,
Okay.
I'll get long stays, but not, people come to town for a week or two to visit family and stuff. Yeah, I get that, but I don't get a lot of corporate hits on the two.
I was thinking that, and I told him, I was like, I'll reach out to my boy and see, because I'm like, I haven't really gotten the personal reason I like three twos because it's families, right? Like if
Yeah.
you want insurance, they want the backyard, they want the three bed, two baths, you want to put a bunk bed in there, you can. So yeah, I was wondering how the market was on that. Yeah, so like when you're starting to see like people stay like extended periods of times in a two, what is it usually for? Is it usually for like visiting family or
Yeah, I'll say, let's say for Fort Worth, I have two twos in Fort Worth.
okay,
So people come to town for the rodeo because the rodeo usually lasts like
yeah,
a week or so.
okay,
So they come to
hmm
town for like they want a good week stay. People can only last so long in a hotel room with their kids, right?
Ooh,
It's pretty. So they want that bedroom, that extra bedroom. They can cram two or three kids in that extra bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
heck
So a
yeah,
two two's fine. They don't need a three two. I mean, it'd be cool if it was a three two, but they can, mom and dad get their own room, the kids get their own room. They're cool with that. So I see like stuff like that. They come to town, like you said, visit family. They're gonna be here for a week, maybe two. They can, but beyond that, like months at a time, the kids kill each other in that in that one bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
for sure, for sure. So to all the listeners, know your market. Sounds like to me and to Steve, like in both of our markets, the three twos and up seem to be the biggest hits because that's been my biggest hit is the three twos. So
Well, the
if
one
you
ones are a good hit because they're cheap,
okay,
right? Because once you get that two two, it bumps it up to almost like a house price, at apartments. It's a
mhm,
crazy jump from a one bedroom, one bath to a two bedroom, two bath. So, but if you get that one bedroom, one bath, I mean, you're gonna get couples and stuff like that. So it's a
yeah,
lot cheaper. So your margins, aren't as thin. You know what I'm saying? As like
yeah.
a two two because the price is so much higher.
You know what? And that's funny. So I still do timeshares, but the biggest hits on timeshares, like for vacation wise, it was always two twos. It was always like two bed, two bath. But there was also with the timeshares I used to rent out. There was also they always had the Murphy bed in the living room, so it was kind of like not really a third bedroom because you're in the open, but you have a full bed. Someone can two adults can sleep on it. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because that two is like a yeah with short term two twos hit all day. They were hitting all day with like short term vacation style.
Hmm. So
Mhm.
how is the timeshare business doing? I hadn't touched that in a while.
It's doing okay. You just have to constantly stay on top of it. Then the timeshare put a bunch of rules in place.
There was a lot of errors going on, man. It got pretty bad.
Yeah, they did. They were putting a lot of rules in place. They got a lot of rules in place about how you send people. But we still do it. We sent someone, I think, to Vegas for a week. Today's the first. It was like 2 weeks ago. Sent
Mhm.
someone to Vegas. That covers all the what's it called? The maintenance fees, and we still using the points. We're hacking the hell out of the points. So, yeah, it's not as big as it was, man. I told everybody about that crap. No, I'm joking. Man, nah, but like, yeah, it used to be, man, it used to be a cash cow, man. Man,
I
I
remember.
bought a house or two off that stuff, man. So yeah, it ain't
Yeah,
like it was. But
we
it
were do
taught go ahead.
we were doing pretty good with ours back then.
Yeah, like it taught me a lot about how vacation rentals work, what type of listings people want, and then like it's just one of those things that when I was doing it, I learned a lot about how people travel, what they want, how to cater to them, and then like I really learned like okay, what type of place fits what location and what type of guest. So that's what I really learned from it, and I still use like this what stuff I learned from that to like my units I pick up today.
And just to recap, because we I know I have one of the timeshares too.
Hmm.
Who was the timeshare company again? The
Worldmark by Wyndham.
Worldmark by Wyndham. That's the ones we have. I'm sure you could probably do it with other ones, perhaps. But you know, it's a points based. You can stay anywhere in the country and some places outside of the country.
Hmm.
But so what we did, we pay our monthly fee and then we get access to these inventory specials and then we list them on Airbnb and then people book them and then so we kind of book them for ourselves, pay with our credit card
Hmm.
and then they rent them from us on Airbnb. So we make the spread. So if we're renting them for $100 a night, we try to rent them for 150 a night to them. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Something like
Hmm.
that. So it is it could be time intensive because like you said they started making all these rules. But what tripped us up because we got away from it for a while because we were
Hmm.
low. I mean we got big into it. We were loading up we had a bunch of stays, loading up our credit card because we got to rent these places first. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And then what happened by the time someone actually did the stay, maybe a month away, 2 months away, before we get our money back, our credit card was
Oh,
just swelling. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it got out of hand. So we took a break from it. We tried to get back into it, but then that's when at the time we tried to get back into it, Airbnb started doing the stupid thing that they did where they want you to be physically at the property and walk it, and then so they can verify that the
Ooh.
property was yours. You know what I'm saying? There was
Oh,
a
okay.
period there they were
Yeah.
making people do that, and I guess maybe especially in vacation rental markets or something like that. I think they got away
Yeah.
from that with their latest update. They got away from making you actually physically be at a place to prove that it's
Mhm.
yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was. I'm gonna look back. There's different ways to do it, and
Yeah.
we'll discuss it too. If y'all want to hit us up and learn some stuff, you got to pay to play.
That's funny. But no, like, yeah, they got real strict. Like now, when you list one, you have to make a reservation, send it to them so they know so they know you're the owner of the timeshare. So now they do that, which you can do it. You can make a reservation, cancel it. That's what we do now. We just make the reservation, cancel it, and then they say, "Oh, okay, you're verified and you're allowed to list." So, but that's some of them. They're different all over the place. So, like I know in Canada, you have to you have to register it. In Canada, New Orleans had a time where you could actually bypass registering by just saying you're a hotel and they just mark you as exempt. But I haven't rented some out in New Orleans in a while, so yeah, man, it was lucrative for a while. We still do it every now and then. We don't make as nearly as much money, but we still do it.
And I'm cool just making a couple $100 a month because
Yeah.
just to pay for the service fee.
Hmm.
Because I think it's around $70 a month now.
Yeah.
So just to be able to pay for that and have a little bit of bread, that'd be cool. I'm cool with that. I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't have to go full scale again.
Yeah.
Because then the guests will cancel and then they'll do something dumb or they'll go up there to the front desk and do something stupid. It's a big mess. It could be a big mess, but
Yeah.
as far as just doing a few stays here and there to make some profit, just to pay for the fees and then a little bit on top of that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, see, I do it for the fees, to pay for the fees, the extra little bread, and the points. That's like my biggest thing is the points. Like I can take the points, put that in like a travel account, and just let that be our travel. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
So the first of the month, man, it was a really busy day for me, right?
Okay.
I got I got stuff going on everywhere. And here's the thing too. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Oh no, 2 days ago,
Hmm.
we closed on another house. We bought that Euless house.
Let's
Thank
go.
you very much. So we closed on the house, and it was the owner finance house, right? And so I ended up putting 6% down
Let's go.
on our finance deal, and I got a 6% interest, which is cheaper than the actual interest rates going on right now. It's a little 4 bedroom, 2 bath over there in Euless, and Euless is a good area. It's close to the airport. And they do allow short-term rentals, and
Okay.
so it's a pretty good deal. I got a pretty good deal, pretty good price on it. He did the foundation before we bought it and all that stuff. And so I bought that house 2 days ago. And then like about a month and a half, 2 months ago is when I closed on the other house in Grand Prairie, the one with the swimming pool I told you about.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so I'm just getting that one. I had my handyman go in and do some painting, some things, some some countertop stuff. He got rid of these. They had these crazy like shelves where the fireplace is. You know, he ripped all those stupid things down. They put it was ugly. So so he did that and he painted and so I got the pool on point, got the pool guy in place, and I just so I was gonna go ahead and start getting that one furnished. And plus,
Okay.
okay, so I bought that house. It's unfurnished, getting ready. The Euless house about a couple of days ago, unfurnished. I got to do something with it. And then I got the Cottonwood house, which I got my handyman over there starting to make the rooms for the pad split. So I got like three major projects going on, right? And I'm like, and I just got to a point, man. I'm so, it gets frustrating when
It
I
does.
see these opportunities, but it's like opportunity. Oh, I got to take them. Then boom, I just hit like a wall because now I got to like spend time to go there and furnish it or get someone to furnish it, oversee that, or oversee the next project to go do some video and stuff for the new pad split that's coming up. Learn that, and it's like, oftentimes like, man, I wish I could clone myself, but you can't do that. So
Yeah.
you got to rely on other people to help you. Otherwise, you're not going to move very far very fast, right? And so that's when I sit there and I'm just like overwhelmed, and I start, how can I fix this? How can I make it where I do grow at a steady pace, and I don't reach these, hit these walls every single time, right? Because I try to do so much at one time, and make it a long story longer. So I in discussions. I'll talk, my friend out of Canada, and I told her I'd give her a shout out. Susanna Chung. What's up, Susanna? She's a listener.
What's up, Susie?
She's been a listener for a long time, actually. So she
Yeah.
says she likes our show. Um, anyways, I've been, she's been cool. I picked up a buttload of furniture from her patio furniture, right? She's giving away patio, and
Huh?
that stuff's expensive. So I was like,
Yeah.
she's like, I just give it to you. I was like, because you've been helping me, mentoring me and stuff. I was like, cool, I'll take it. Going on my lunch break, I look like Sanford and Son, man. The movers that were there, they stacked my truck so high, dude. I had to go. I was in the hood too. This story
Oh
had
man.
so many. Yeah, I was over off of Al Lipscomb and Malcolm X, man. I was in the hood.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything touching Malcolm X, yeah, you in the hood of the DF Dub. Yeah, okay.
I did smell some good barbecue in the air. I should have stopped, but but then I had to turn around and my truck's empty. I don't know. Uh, but
Um,
yeah, I had to go stop in the AutoZone in the hood to get some straps to really, really strap it down. I didn't know they were going to stack it up this high. I know I'm meandering. My story has a point though, if I can remember the point. So yeah, she gave me all this furniture because she had these. Like I said, they're building those 3-story townhome looking
yep.
apartments everywhere in the hood, man. Those things are
Yeah.
popping up in the hood. You can write that down. We'll go back to that. Um, Townhomes. So I picked it because she just recently shut hers down, and so I grabbed all that stuff and I took it to the house with the pool over there in Grand Prairie. I said, okay, this will be my backyard stuff.
Hmm.
And I got it for free. I had to go get it. Anyways, I'm talking to her and I was like, you know what? And I started thinking about this. I'm like, man, I got too many things going on. Maybe I could rent one of these houses or a couple of these houses to some arbitrages that I know, you know?
Hmm.
And I thought of Susanna and I'm saying, hey, you know what? I got a bunch of things going on. I got two houses here. I got one in Euless, one in Grand Prairie. Perhaps you'd like to arbitrage one of these houses. I'll give you a good price. I'm not going to try to knock your head off or nothing. And she's like, yeah, yeah, send me the information. She's all excited about it. It looks
Hmm.
like we're going to move forward with her arbitraging that one. So I don't have to go spend money to furnish it and time and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I can move on to something else, or focus on the Euless house, which is closer to me. And so, and I told her, listen, I got to figure something out because opportunities. I mean, it's like a snowball, right? Opportunities just keep coming and coming. I can't do all of them. So if we can make like some kind of conveyor belt where, okay, I'll find a property, I can get it owner finance, I can get it closed, and I can pass it on to an arbitrager. We have a team in place that could like do all the furnishing, put the furniture together, design whatever they need. You got people out of Canada, you got people over there that want more arbitrages, and so you can slot them in. You're making money that way. You're making money on the design. You're picking up ones you want. So try to figure out a way to scale. The big
Yeah.
word scale. And so I'm working on something like that because I just hate keep running into walls.
Man, I'm kind of like that right now because I'm Matter of fact, my closing got pushed back because I was supposed to close today. That got pushed back. So, I'm running into that because right now, I was trying to buy a 12 unit while I'm closing on a duplex. So I'm like trying to figure out financing, then figuring out, okay, how I'm going to furnish the duplex while also seeing how I can furnish the 4 units out of the 12 if I get it. So, man, honestly, I think it starts with goals. Like, what's your goal? Because once you have a clear sight of your goal, then you won't jump at every opportunity. You'll be very targeted and you'll only jump at the things you want. That was one thing with me. I'm like very targeted on my goals. My goals is I want management properties and properties to own. The ones that I own, if it's a single bedroom, if it's single family or duplex, I want it to be 3-bed, 2-bath. Then I'll go for it because opportunity is always going to come your way when you're in that hustle and grind. But you just have to be really targeted. And also, what you're talking about, that burnout, man. I read this book called The 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, and he talks about that. He goes, you have to work on your leadership skills so learn how to use the law of elasticity, so you know how to stretch yourself. That means bringing in other people that can help you, like kind of like you did. You said, hey, arbitrage this house for me, gets it off my hands, I'm making money off of it. And going through those motions, and one thing that I do, I use ChatGPT as a project manager. Like I said, hey, I'm closing on this house on this date, create a project management and I said, hey, this is the list that I need to order. Create a project management so we can get this done on June 15th. And it creates a step-by-step process and asks me, hey, who's all involved with the project? I'm the project manager. I have my assistant, and then I have my staging team. And it creates a whole damn project management step-by-step guide for you, bro. Like, man, I use AI for everything, man. If you have a headache, use AI. I always tell you, if you have a headache, use AI.
It's the Tylenol for your projects, for your brain. I don't know.
Man.
It's what reminds me of that real quick is that I just saw an article today. You've heard of Duolingo, right?
Yeah.
It's the app to help you learn languages.
Yeah.
That they're using ChatGPT to create all their lessons and stuff. And they said they're laying off a lot of contractors because they're just using ChatGPT to make them. I was like, damn, it's beginning, bro.
Oh yeah. I mean, the people that, like, I tell people, man, if you want to make the money off AI, is like perfect for entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, AI will do everything for you, like straight up. Besides lifting, if it can't lift up nothing, but it can find somebody who can. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I use it, bro. Like,
when the robots get here, then it can communicate to the robots for you.
There you go. So, like, I tell people, man, it's about just really like honing in, like using all the resources at your hand. But yeah, that's one thing I always do is, man, because I got overwhelmed like last week. I'm like, damn, I got to close on these damn houses. Got to get them furnished. And I'm like, dang, I hope can my cleaner get everything in there? And I was like, let me just tell ChatGPT, create me a project management plan to get this done. I told it exactly what I was doing. It 5 minutes. Relieve my stress.
That's cool, man. I need to start really diving into some ChatGPT. I use it sometimes just for fun. I haven't really used it to run things. But what I'm concerned, I am, when I saw that Duolingo thing, I am a bit concerned of, okay, this generation of kids that are graduating, man. At least when our generation, that was like when stuff was going up and you get you IT and then, you can get you an IT job making pretty good money right away. It was like, it was simple and that was the process. Now it's like they're studying to be a graphic designer. You sure you want to do that? People can just tell ChatGPT, create me a badass logo, and there you go. You don't need your graphic designs anymore, man. And certain jobs that are just disappearing by the day, man.
Data scientists. If you want the money, data scientists. That's the people behind the AI. Yeah. So tell people you have to, because like I would say, even my job, AI can do my job, and I'm a network engineer. Like, it can do my job. Like, I could use ChatGPT to do my job. It's like it knows exactly what it is, and it'll pull up references of where it pulled the crap on what to do. So I'm like, damn, it's legit. So yeah, job, man, that goes back into our conversation about sending our kids to college. Like, Yeah, you got to be very weary of what you're sending them into college for.
Mm.
So
And
for sure.
I sent you a text message this morning because I was thinking about. I was driving my daughter to
Yeah.
school, and I was like, I took a day off from work, like I've been doing,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I just thought of it as a dude, you know, I got 45 different sources of income because of 45 properties, right?
Yeah.
I own 10 of them, but I arbitrage some and then you manage some others. But it's like 45 different things that'll bring me revenue, that'll bring me income. Most people in this world, not just this country, only rely on one source of income. And I started thinking, I was like, especially with ChatGPT and the rise of AI, are you sure you're gonna have that job tomorrow? Plus, and plus VAs, man, and people can hire VAs to do some badass stuff
Bro.
for a fraction of
Did,
what they pay an American.
did you and what you just said, did you hear um Brandon Turner, he had a Better Life podcast, and there was this dude,
Dirty
he
the
startup.
sweaty
Oh
start.
my
Yeah,
God,
I
bro.
used to listen to that guy start the show. It was great. He's a
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's talking about he gets these people from South Africa because they do this. He gets these people from Bangladesh because they do this, and they. Oh man, he had a place for VAs for all over the world, and he said, and Brandon was like, I want to hire the CFO, but he's gonna charge like a good one charges $500,000 a year.
Go to
He's like,
Egypt.
dude, yeah, that's what he said. He said you can get one for like 40,000 over there. It's like
Yeah,
rent's like $50 a month over there.
bro. See, man, and I was talking to my coworker, man, and I said, man, American labor is just it's outrageous. If me and you both run a business, man, American labor is expensive. If you were to like straight up go through your QuickBooks and your balance sheet, I guarantee you most of your money is from American labor. Everything else is cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like American labor is expensive. You can get a VA, a CFO. Like when he said you can get a CFO paying him 4,800 a month, doing the same thing someone over here who's charging you 120,000 a year for. It's like, bro, what are we doing? So yeah, man, yeah, those jobs, it's coming, bro. It's coming.
Yeah, so that was my whole point to it. I was like, I didn't mean to I mean, I had aspirations, but I was like, I just thought about it driving to school. I was like, man, I got 45 different sources of income.
That's
And I
good.
was like, but you don't really need that if you don't want it, but at least have two. I mean, I mean, to me, it's like being a farmer and only planting one crop. What happens if that crop gets messed up? You're not gonna eat.
You know what it is though? Like I think you said it. You hit it on the head. You said you don't need it. I think people live in a world where they don't need it and they're just scraping by. So then when something happens, oh shoot, I need it. I think it's one of those things where if you're playing it safe, like I'm just gonna go to work, clock out, complain about life whenever a president changes or anything else, and not try to do anything to better myself, you're going to end up in a situation where you could possibly not be prepared. I mean, you can be there's risks with what we do, no doubt, but they're calculated risks, and we can overcome those risks. We invest enough in ourselves, study, network, so those risks can be overcome. But yeah, man, people live that one income life or two incomes, but then make the bad investments of the big, like you say, the big mansion, two car notes. I don't know. It's just a lot of bad investments, in my opinion. So yeah, that happens. I'm all divorced. Get as many streams as you can, because I think the what they say you need 7 streams of income.
I've heard
So
that before.
yeah, 7, and
Yeah.
I mean we both passed that, so I mean we good, but we still trying to grow.
Yeah, and I've had a friend at work because I'm at my day job. I still got the
Yeah,
day job. That's one of the sources.
yeah,
That's not the main source no more, but it's one of them.
yeah,
But she had mentioned before, this is a few years back. I guess I was being known as, oh, he's the Airbnb guy. Oh, he's the real estate guy. They just start
yeah.
stuff spreads fast at work. And she mentioned, I just hate this job so much. She complained quite a bit. It was, it's a union job. It ain't that hard. But just to put it out there,
Union
I don't think
job.
she listens to the show. She does. What's up? But yeah, she's no longer there actually. But
Damn
anyways,
complainer
yeah,
counselor.
she's gone. But anyways, she just complained all the time and then saying, I'm just gonna, I just want to quit and maybe I'll start my own business and this and that. I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna go that route, you should start the business now while you still have this job. You gotta
Yeah.
just quit and then what kind of business? Oh, me and my cousin were talking about making candles and this. You make candles, huh? You gotta. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. You should try that now because it's not easy.
Straight
Entrepreneur,
up.
especially if it's your only source of income, you got to rely on, and you're gonna
Man,
go out
bro.
there, you're gonna start making mistakes, and might as well have a job while you're doing it,
Yeah.
and then build something that you think sustainable that could at least come close to your income. You know what I'm saying? And then you
Yep.
can think about jumping ship, but I wouldn't do it before then.
Nah, for real, man. Yeah, I mean, like if you've never, especially if you've never ran a business full time, yeah, definitely stick to your day job, build up your reserves, know how much money. I don't know. Mine's a little different because I'm more all in on real estate. Find one thing and go after it. Me. I'm real estate, so I know what I need to quit like for the final time. So I'm all in on that. But just know what business you're getting into. Get a bunch of houses, however much houses you need to live comfortably, pay them off, and then go work your candle business or whatever business full time, man. For real. And that's how I look at it. Like when I'm get to my number of doors, I mean, I'll still do real estate, but I want to do like a lot of like speaking engagements to like teaching other people, like we're doing now, teaching other people, hey, this is how you can get financial freedom and stuff like that. I have other aspirations and dreams, but you gotta have some supplemental income to fund that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, man, big time. I mean, it was one of those epiphanies driving in the morning. Man, I got, have these different sources of income. But yeah, at least get two and hopefully three or more.
And I have two things to talk about that you should draw on. I want you to walk us through that owner finance deal and how it worked.
Okay.
How you only got 6% down.
It's funny, because I started, the previous loan, DSCR. And I had mentioned those are becoming a little more of a headache. They're
Yeah.
starting to ask for more stuff. It's turning into kind of like almost Wells Fargo, but not quite. They're starting to ask for a lot more things. It used to be just, hey, is this place going to make money or whatever? Now, these investors want to know, hey, how's your credit? Well, they've always kind of looked at
Yeah.
that, but well, how's your bank statement? So how's your taxes? They're starting to ask more questions than before. It used to be
Mhm.
easy peasy, but still, and now most of them want 25% DSCRs, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they want 25%. They don't want that 20% no more. But you got to just really, really convince them the 20%'s the way to go. And which I'm not going to pay 25%. I'm paid 20%. That's the last one I did, the DSCR. And I'm like, man, these things, it's cool. I can close with these, just based on my business. I could throw it into an LLC right away. That's beautiful. Um, Similar rate, but I was like, man, I really, really need to do some more owner finance. I did the condo owner finance. That was easy. I filled out like two
Mhm.
papers and I bought the freaking house, the condo, right? And so I told my agent, this is what you got to do. If you got an agent, tell her to make you a tell them to make you a portal that says, owner finance houses in these areas. I put it where I can still do Airbnb, short-term rentals, um, and then three twos and up. That's
Mhm.
that's I put my criteria. I said, make me a portal like that. I know you're sending me all these other stuff, that's cool. But make me a portal that's just specifically owner finance or owner will carry the note or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so she made me that, and I started getting sent some homes, and a lot of them are shit holes. No,
Oh man.
they said yeah, a lot of these owner finance are not very good, and you got to do a lot of work, and it's falling apart. But every now and then you get a gem. You're like, oh, this one looks nice. Now that
Mhm.
now a lot of here's the thing, a lot of the people that are willing to do owner finance I mean, some of them are stupid. They're like, oh, I want 50% down. I want 10% interest. I want a 1 year balloon. They say stupid shit, right?
Mhm.
So you got to find the ones that are, after all, sifting through all these people that are just trying to, take advantage of people. I found the one in Euless, and they said, well, we can do, 6%. We can do 20% down on our finance. And I was like, okay, well. See if he can, I can go up to 20 grand. I can put down 20 grand on this house, right?
Mhm.
because it's a $300,000 house. After it'll be all said and done, after you put in 20% down, that's gonna be like 70 grand, right? After
Okay.
the fees and all the stuff you got to do, pay out the agents and everything. I said, ask him if he'd take 20. I can come up to 20. And then they went back and forth. Can you do 30? No. Can you do 20? And then you just settled. Okay, yeah, I can do 20. So 20 grand works out to like 6%,
Hmm.
right? And so, and you did the same thing, like kind of like buying a house with the, Wells Fargo, or whatever. You do the inspection. So we did the inspection,
Hmm.
found out the foundation's going down in the back, and then so we had them, hey, could y'all fix the foundation before we buy it, and this and that. And then he fixed the foundation. And I said, and can you do the plumbing test afterwards? Because once you move a foundation around, you could like mess
Oh.
up some pipes. And so
Mhm.
it's just like it's the same process of buying a house because you have you put the earnest money,
Okay.
and then you have like a week to do your due diligence, do the
Okay.
inspection, and then negotiate some things. And we negotiated the price down a little bit more. And then we went to the closing table at the title company like a week later, after they did the inspection. Like, oh, it was like the day after they did the I'm sorry, the foundation and checked the plumbing, everything's good. The day after, we went to the closing table, the title company, just like a regular same title company you use for Wells Fargo, whoever, and sat down and just signed a stack of papers. And he's the bank. I'm gonna send him the payments, and I'm gonna send him the proof of insurance and taxes are getting paid, and that was it. It was real simple. I didn't have
Okay.
no banks. I didn't hear him asking, 6 months of statements. I didn't have them asking like 10 years of taxes. I didn't ask, all that stupid stuff. He didn't care. He
Mhm.
didn't want to see all that. He didn't care. He just
Yeah.
wanted to sell the house to me, owner finance. He put it where I can't sell or finance out for 5 years, which is pretty
Okay.
much customary. DSCRs are doing that now.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years. They don't want you to hop out, but I don't plan to sell it in 5 years, anyways. And there's just a few things we just agreed upon, and that was it. It was pretty easy.
Okay. And then if he ever wants out of the house, what do you do? Just refinance him out?
He's on the hook for 30 years as my mortgage,
Okay. So
and
he's
so
on the
it's
hook
up
for
to
30.
me.
Okay.
After 5 years, I can hop out. I could sell it, and then
Yeah.
he has first position, so he'd be paid
Yeah.
off. Now, what
Yeah.
he can do, he could sell that note to a bank if he wants to.
Servicing, not just like a
That's
servicing company does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the condo I bought, owner finance, a few years
Yeah.
back. Brad, he's the owner. But I was paying him like he's the bank. He ended up they hit him up. This bank, something called First National whatever bank, one of those
Yeah.
names, right? And they hit him up and they asked if they could buy the note from him. And so he said, "Hey, they're gonna buy the note from me, blah blah blah." I was like, "All right, cool." And so how does that affect me? He's like, "Well, you're just gonna pay them now." I was like, "All right, cool."
How
So
much they buy
they
the note? Not did you ask him how much they bought the note for? Because they would have had to give him like a profit or something, right?
It's a good question. I didn't ask.
You,
I didn't
you
ask.
remember you remember back in the day we used to hold those meetups at Boston's?
Hmm.
It was a dude who came in there and he said he does that. He just
Oh, the
does
notes
note.
guy. The notes guy.
Yeah. So like I'm
Yeah.
wondering like how you making money? Like is he just like, hey, I'll cash you out. I'll give you 20 grand over what you owe, and you just cash out 20, walk off, and then you're paying the bank less than what they paid for it?
I'm still okay. Let's say the price I bought that condo for is 85 grand, right?
Yeah.
I'm paying. I still owe that exact same amount, 85 grand. But
Yeah.
they bought the note from him. Maybe they did pay over. Maybe they gave him like 95 grand, whatever. But still, he owned it outright. So he got that big lump of cash, right? He got that big
Okay.
lump of cash from them. And so they own the note and I'm paying them. And what was
Oh,
cool about the situation is they have a whole website. I can log in there and I can put it on auto pay. So I don't have to do it every month and remember how to do it.
yeah, yeah.
I could even if I could even with them, what's it called? I could even escrow if I wanted to.
Yeah.
you know. But so it's like a real bank that I guess they go and buy these owner finance. I mean, that's another niche. There's so many niches in the business. They go and find these owner finance deals that are in place where people are have a great payment history and this and that, and then they'll go buy these notes from people.
Man, bro, I gotta look into that. That's a like selling a note off to a bank. I just wonder like what's your profit margin? Because I guess the bank, if the bank pays them out in cash, right, whatever they paid them, I'm assuming they did their math. Because what's your interest rate?
5%, I think. It's
Okay, so
5%
they probably, so they'll probably make their money off
or
the interest,
4.5. Yeah, something
four and
like
a half.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
but
make.
their thing is, yeah, they're making interest on me. Yeah, they're making,
Yeah,
and it's a
that ain't.
pretty safe note. I've been paying
Yeah,
on it good and no
yeah.
hiccups or nothing. So yeah, so that's another option. This owner has of that Euless house. I guess he could sell it to one of these. He could sell the note to somebody if he wanted to and cash out at that point.
Okay. Dang, man, that's a good model to be in. I'm gonna have to tell my realtor to create me a portal for some owner finance deals. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And now, yeah, and I'm taking it a step further because I'm like, these deals come across, and a lot of times agents are busy. It's no big
Mhm.
deal. I mean, agents, have a lot of clients, and I'm like, hey, could I get some information about an owner finance deal? Could you find out what the terms are?
Mhm.
That's all I want to know. Just let me know the terms, and I can, check it off my list. If it's stupid terms, I ain't even gonna mess with it, right? But if it
Yeah.
was like decent terms and I could negotiate it down a little bit, I want to talk to those people. I want to go see that house, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's super busy, and I told her, why don't you get a VA, to every single owner finance deal that comes across your table, to use your email. I guess they work for you
Yeah.
send this script. I'll write the script for you, or ChatGPT could write it for you, and then just say, "Hey, we're interested in this house. What are the owner finance terms?" That way, and then automatically sends me the message, and I can see all these different ones that come across and what the terms are, and if it's worth messing with or not.
It's a good
I'm thinking
idea.
like that because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I want to push off as much as I can off my plate.
Yeah. If you could even have, if you could have a VA going through and just scraping owner finance deals, I'll be down for that. Yeah, I might have to look into some owner finance because after I finish this duplex, I'll definitely be on the hook to look for some for
Right,
sure.
right. So that's what I want to focus on. I want to find more deals, more owner finance deals, maybe subject to. I might try to do some subject to stuff,
Yeah.
but I want to focus on that. Finding good houses that'll make good short-term, midterm rentals, right? That people that will have enough meat on the bone where I can rent them out to arbitragers, and then they could profit good, and then I can go on to the next one, on to the next one. That's when I could scale it instead of having to stop every time and have to furnish everything and go over all
Yeah.
that stuff. I know you mentioned that you have your clear vision, and you mentioned management as part of that, not
Mhm.
just buying homes and doing
Mhm.
your own thing. You want to, manage other people's homes. I know I have a team that does most of the heavy lifting, that does most of the day, day to day, but I still get, especially when you get to like 45 units, I still get questions and unique situations and
Yeah.
or guests that are trying to scam the system and try to get, and they know how to handle a lot of it, but
Mhm.
I still get messaged. I still get hit up. I still get in these situations that are kind of like piss me off. It's a little
Yeah,
bit
I know what you
stressful,
mean.
and then I'm like, man, do I even like hospitality? I ask myself that a lot. I'm like, do I even like this stuff? People are just getting so entitled nowadays. It's so freaking draining, right? No offense to y'all travelers out there. I'm a traveler, but I think I'm cool. I don't go mess with. I say, hey
Yeah.
man, so, could you fix this, please? I don't react like some Karens and stuff. I am outraged. I have never stayed in a place like this. Man, you say that shit every fucking where you go. Sorry, I had to cuss. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I hate dealing with, and we're dealing with it more and more,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, I'm asking myself some big questions. Do I
Okay.
even want that part of it anymore? Do I even want to manage other people's shit anymore? Because then you're dealing with managing the client as well. And then there's not, shout out to the good clients that I've got. I've had bad ones before. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm squished in the middle between clients and then the guests that we're serving. And it's like we're in the balance beam, and Airbnb is like in a balance beam because they're trying to cater to us and they're trying to cater to the guest. I can understand being sandwiched by two different sides like Airbnb
Hmm.
is every day. But I'm asking myself some big questions. Do I want any of this stress, or do I want to just do what I love to do. Go look at houses, go buy houses, go find them, get arbitrages in there. You do your thing. I don't want to manage it for you. I don't want to go put furniture together for you. You got this, man. And I'm just asking myself big questions, trying to get rid of stuff that drains me and trying to bring more stuff in that brings me joy.
Man, this goes back to that. What is it called, man? You're at that point in your life. Pumpkin plan, man.
Yeah,
Gotta
that's a great
go
book.
for the big pumpkins, the ones that bring you joy.
I like
It's
big
this,
pumpkins.
yeah, go for the big ones that bring you joy. The ones that don't, get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Even if, and this is also I have to look at it too. Even if it brings you a lot of money, but that money comes with a headache. That's what it has to come down to. Is like because the world is gonna. This is how it works, man. I've learned this too. As long as it keeps bringing you headache, the money really ain't worth it. But if it's money that's easy, like you have a good management client, a client that's real easy to talk to, real down to earth, easy to deal with, and it brings in not as much money, but it brings in money and it's consistent, get all those clients. Because if you get 50 of those, it makes your life easier.
And that's good. Yeah, but that's always half of the puzzle, right? The other half is when the bad guests come through, you know. Even the corporate guests are getting a lot entitled nowadays. I've been through a few that are just picking the house apart. I'm like, bro,
Really?
you're going through a situation. I can't have this house ain't designed to be perfect, like freaking the Taj
Yeah.
Mahal or whatever the hell. But yeah, I'm getting, it's just on that end too. So yeah, you could fill your business with great clients, and that's fine. And I encourage that. We've parted ways with several clients before, and we have some really good ones now. But but there's the guest. That's the other piece of the puzzle that kind of, that's the other part that's been draining.
Are you're considering going long term?
No, no. I guess in a way, yeah, in a way, considering long term as far as renting my houses and properties to arbitrageurs for them to do it.
And maybe I don't have enough doors. I don't have the long term rental like the midterms usually ain't that bad, but most of them are insurance clients. So they're like they ain't got nowhere to go. They've been sitting in a hotel. They'll take as long as it's a 3 bed, 2 bath house. They kids ain't sitting next to them every day. They'll take it. You know what I mean? They're kind of just like at wit's end. So I haven't experienced that, and I may end up running into it once I continue getting doors. But yeah, I'm happy you're bringing that up. I mean, you do have to consider stuff like that. Is this money worth it? You know,
Maybe I'm
straight
just
up.
having a bad day, but
It could be.
you gotta always question what's going on in your business, I guess.
You do, and then maybe you're having a bad day, or maybe like you have to train someone to take over those tasks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
maintenance, I mean, I know you mentioned maintenance, man, but that's a big thing too, having to deal with all the maintenance stuff, and then
yeah,
yeah, that's not once you get to like as many properties as we got, it just becomes a lot, man. A lot of maintenance
yeah,
stuff going on at all times.
yeah. I had to make sure I created a capex account for maintenance because this started eating me up. Then I had to redo my profit first numbers, and I had to like set aside like, hey, we doing 8% for maintenance for capex, and that's been working for us, man. Because yeah, maintenance is hell.
Yeah, especially with older houses, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm happy about this new build. Right, it's a brand new house, and I'm gonna see what I can do with that. Um, Earlier you talked about 3-story townhomes in the hood.
Those pieces
Now
of shit they're building.
I'm okay. Funny thing is, so remember a few years back, shout out to Mike Brown. His boy was building his dude from DMV. I forgot the dude's name, but he was building these townhomes. He's building them over in West Dallas, like smack dab middle of the hood.
Mhm.
But he was nice ass. It was like first floor is nothing but a garage with a Tesla with like a electric vehicle charger in it.
Mhm.
You go up to the next floor, and next floor is like living room, kitchen, and then you have your bedroom and another bedroom, however it works. But like I heard they were losing money on them because it costs so much to build, and nobody was like buying them like that.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if maybe I don't know, it'd be a good time to maybe do a owner finance or I don't know, work out a good deal with the builder or what. But I was just seeing if you've seen any good deals like that.
I went to that one of the ones that Mike Brown manages in the hood, you know. And we remember, I think it was a couple years back. It was like a Halloween thing that he had. If you remember, I don't think no, I think you didn't go, but it's in one of those right in smack dab in the hood with the $1 million views of the city. And man, you know, it was $1 million
I
views.
think.
See the bridges, you can see the city skyline,
Yeah. Okay. I
and
remember that.
so yeah, but even he told me, and even my, you know, shout out to David Law. He's kind of helped us do a lot of maintenance back in the day, and Mike Brown too.
Yeah.
He said he's been to a few of those to fix some things, but he said the craftsmanship on those things was really shoddy, man.
Yeah.
Cause they're yeah, and Mike Brown told me too. He's like, look at this over here. You know, it's coming apart. The rooftops are all flat. They have the cool rooftop, where you can, you know, rooftop patio, but
Yeah.
they're all flat. They're made with some crazy material. So when it rained, all the water got trapped in the roofs, and the roofs started getting messed up. I mean, these things were
Oh.
they weren't made very well, man. And they were
Yeah.
selling them for like, you know, back when the real estate was just shooting up like crazy, right? They were selling them for like 1 and 2 million for these things, right? In the hood.
Damn.
And so I don't know
I
how
see it.
much you can see. You can go look, you can find them, and the prices are just plummeting on those things.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing, man.
But they're
That's
but the way they're built is so shoddy. I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to buy one because
Mhm.
if they're falling apart and they're brand new, man, you're gonna have to tear that thing down in a few years. And what you got? A plot of land in the hood? What's that worth?
Straight up, man. Because yeah, they were throwing them things up in West Dallas, like throwing them up, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, man, they're throwing these things up. And then Mike was like, yeah, his boy was having trouble selling them, and because his was like smack dab in the middle of the hood, and like right across the street, you still got a trap house.
Hmm.
So he's like, he was like, but how he was selling it, how he tried to sell it to me was, he was like, well, those people, they ain't gonna be able to afford the taxes anytime soon. Which I'm like, yeah, true, but it still is the trap house over here. You gotta wait till that stuff get cleared out. You can't be charging nobody 800,000. So yeah, man.
That was what I told you. And I was at that Halloween party. We were up hanging out on the rooftop,
Yeah,
having some drinks. It was cool. Like I said, the scenery, it's got the $1 million views of the city, but across the street from trap houses, right? And next door to trap houses.
straight up.
And that's what I saw. The weirdest thing, man, I saw an ice cream truck in the middle of the night, like 11 o'clock at night, cruising through the hood. I'm like, what the? I've never seen an ice cream truck at night before, man.
I'm the ice cream man. Oh yeah, we know what he's slinging. Yeah,
Oh, shit, man.
yeah, we know what he's slinging. He's slinging ice cream, all right. But hey,
The chili cheese Fritos.
yeah, it's definitely like that over there. Like I was like, man, because like you seen those new ones they built up right there off 30. They're in the middle of the hood, like just big nice townhomes. But I don't know how much they selling for, and it sounds like Dallas has a lock on the Airbnb thing. That ain't going away no time soon. So you know, and speaking of the ones, I'm happy you brought that up. You said you're dealing with like bad guests. Are all your places not midterms?
Um, well, I mean, we try, of course, to get midterms first, but we do a lot of heavy Airbnb in the middle,
Yeah.
between
Man.
the longer stays. Because thanks to Jesse, our buddy Jesse,
Just
what's his
oh yeah,
Jesse
Vasquez.
Vasquez, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
Thanks
Jesse.
thanks to him, everybody wants to do midterm now. So
Yeah.
so that's being more cutthroat, right? It used to be,
Dang, man.
yeah. So thanks to shows like us too, we spread the word too. But so it is. There's still a lot of Airbnb,
Yeah.
and one thing I was gonna bring up, one thing I was gonna, or were you going with that line of questioning first?
I
I
was
don't cut you off.
I was gonna like see like maybe you could deter that type of guest. Like what kind of guest is coming that's bringing the headache, you
Man, you
know?
just don't know who's gonna spaz out on you. Some
Yeah.
guests, man, an AC will go out and they'll be the coolest motherfucker ever, right? They won't, oh, don't worry about it, man. Just when they can fix it, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then the next guest, when a refrigerator light goes out, this is just unbearable. I can't see the food. The food's spoiling. And I mean, it's just like you never know what the hell you're gonna get, man.
You see the food? Oh man, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Because you remember back in the day, right? I still have the same Airbnbs. They ain't in the hood, but they around the corner from the hood. So like you got to drive to the hood, through the hood to get there. And then when you get there, it ain't really the hood, but
Yeah.
they're so traumatized that they had to drive by some trap houses and they don't see them no more. And they used to complain. So I used to put wording in them. I still do. Like, hey, this is urban neighborhood, start using code words. And I started getting different guests,
Hmm.
guests that were like, oh, I'm cool with this area. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe I don't know if that'll work for you, but yeah, man, I know what it is getting bad guests, bro. It's oh,
It's
bro.
just
Man.
it seems like a lot more nowadays. And then
And it's
but
about to pick up
yeah.
because the summer's coming.
Oh yeah, we're in high season right now. We're
Straight
getting
up.
we're getting some nice bookings now. But back in the day I would say like maybe 1 or 2% of the guests were like that, but now it's probably like 10 to 15%. It's been steadily growing. But I think a lot of them were trained by Airbnb, just complain you get a free stay. I think that,
Oh,
they were just trained or they, were able to push over some weak guests.
yeah.
My VAs are pretty tough, dude. They fight it, dude. They fight you tooth and nail. They ain't trying to give no free stays. I love that about my VAs. And
Yeah.
they're sending all
Straight
these
up.
messages to Airbnb. He's like, man, his socks ain't dirty because the floors. That dude went and walked in the garage. That's it. He's trying to send some BS, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm happy you said that, man. I'll be having my man, I'm telling you. I know I hate to keep talking about AI, but I have my VA. She'll go and just say, act like an Airbnb representative and how should I respond to this guest to not have to give him a refund? Bro, it'll tell you everything what to say and say, would you like for me to write that out for you? I'm like, oh my God.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Because you got to watch a guest because they'll use AI to do the same on their end. So you got to fight it with fire.
It's just gonna be a planet full of AIs going back and forth with messages,
Got to fight robots with robots. So
right?
yeah.
The bots. I, my wife has been wanting to get her real estate license,
Ooh, we
and
okay.
and I think that's cool. I know at first I was like, I don't know if that's the best idea, but then I'm thinking, that is it probably would work out good for us. Like I said, the agents are really busy a lot of
Mhm.
times, and you can't really get out to a house like, hey, I want to go right after work and see a house. I can't. We can go tomorrow or blah blah blah. And by then I might be gone. But anyways, my wife wants to get that real estate license. We can get access to houses all the time, right? Or
Straight up.
if I'm busy, I'm across town or I'm at work or something, then she can go tour it herself and do me a video walkthrough. Use the Cubicasa thing, the Cubicasa app, and go give
Yep.
me the whole floor plan. You know what I'm saying? And say, oh, I can pat split that mug. And so I was thinking, and people are saying you could get it in like within a month if you study, you can get you a real estate license, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to hang your hat somewhere. You have to get with and that's probably like $150 a month. But I'm like $150 a month ain't nothing if I'm making landing houses that are adding hundreds of thousands to my net worth. You know what I'm saying? And
Bro.
so I'm yeah, I think she's gonna do it, and I'm even thinking about doing it myself too, because sometimes she'd be with the kids, and I just go straight after work or on my lunch break, go hit up some houses.
Bro, I'm as soon as I finish this test I'm doing for my certification, I'm getting me and Mahogany are both getting our real estate license.
Boom.
Yeah. So I would suggest do it because that's what we're doing. Like we're just waiting to get I'm finishing up my certification and we're both gonna have our real estate license.
That's what's up.
Yeah, bro,
That's what's up.
it helps straight up.
It does, just for the fact of seeing the house. And I told her, even our agent, shout out to Lucy, Mexican Lucy. That's Mexican Lucy. She's a Hispanic girl. She's real cool. She's super cool. Lucy Knox. If you need a great agent here, Lucy Knox will knock it out of the park for you. See, I made a
Ooh,
little
I
jingle
like
for
that. I like that.
it. But she even's like, telling Lupita, yeah, you should do it. I'm here to help you if you need me. I said, yeah, it's like. I said, I don't want to take away business from you. And if anything, if we see a house that we're gonna buy, you can help her, you can help us out, and then y'all could, split the commission. You know what I'm saying? As it just help Lupita close a few, deals to learn, and then y'all can split the commissions. And then if she ever lists a house for a family member, and then she needs your help with something, you can share the commission on that front too. It's like people look at things out of scarcity instead of abundance, right?
Dude, how long she been a realtor? The Lucy girl.
Man, I would say like 20 years, 15 years or so. I mean, she's been a while.
See, then once you learn the system, you push her to become a broker. You go under her brokerage, and then now everybody's making money. Yeah, man, it's just a law, man. Everybody, you got to think big, man. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So my wife's excited about it because she really wanted to help with the business. I mean, that'd be a big help right there. And so shit, I might as well get mine too. Why not?
Heck yeah. Shoes, I'm all for it because me and Mahogany been talking about that. I'm like, man, we should just get our license in just to have it and view houses, do what we need to do.
I remember years back when y'all first, we first met and started this podcast and stuff. You had mentioned that she was wanting to get her license, and I think a few agents were like discouraging her from doing it or said, nah, you shouldn't do it because if you
they were right at the time. They were right because we had just started our business. We were doing management. We were doing arbitrages, and it was like we hadn't had everything separated. Now everything's between the LLC, and then we're separate now. Like we're separate, like from our business. So that time, so Mahogany has already done all the classes. All she has to do is go take the test. So I have to do all the classes and the testing, but I think you can do most of it online. So I'm about to go hard on that as soon as I finish the certification, man. That's already been on my to-do list, man.
And I want us to be specialists in the creative finance field.
Yeah. Bro, I'm going to tell you something, man. Like one thing with like me and you having our license, bro, we know short-term and midterm rentals. Most agents don't know that. So like those California investors, what do you think they're looking for? They trying to park some cash somewhere and make a big return? I'll help you out. But actually, I just thought about it. You may want to be careful trying to manage and have your license though. Because I don't manage anything in Texas. I manage all my stuff in Arkansas. You got to kind of be careful with that. Or reword how you say it. Just say you do short-term and midterm accommodations. Shout out to our guy. What's his name?
Dang. Yeah, I know. Forgot his name.
Robert Neuendorf. Shout out to Rob. He always gave us that tip. So, yeah.
Yeah, Rob's big time. What up, Robbie? So, man. So first of the month, got us talking about all this stuff. Got how to reorganize our businesses in the best way. I'm happy y'all are still listening to us after all these years.
Yeah.
Straight up. And we're all looking to do bigger and better things, more efficient things. You got anything else to add, Micah, man?
Man, not much, man. Just hope I can close on this freaking house tomorrow. So my closing got pushed back. So yeah, that's
sorry about your Lakers.
We got to fire JJ Redick, man.
Is that what it is?
Dude played 8 players, bro, during the NBA Finals, bro. Your guy is 40 years old. Luka's out of shape. What Charles Barkley say? Luka can't guard a chair. So I mean, you gotta.
One step and they were past Luka, man.
Oh, like did you? Hey, it's funny. Hate to get off started, but no. Did you? There was a video. They posted a video of when Luka first came into the league, like his first 3 years. Dude was skinny, dunking on people, everything. Dude's out of shape, man. I'm like, dang, he's gained like 30 pounds, man. What's going on, Luke? And it's not like he gained 30 pounds of muscle. He gained 30 pounds of Taco Bell, bro. It's like, yo, man, what's going on? So,
Texas brisket, baby.
For real, bro. I'm like, bro, it was all that good eating in Dallas. Hopefully in LA he goes vegan or something. I don't know.
I know, right? But one thing real quick while we jump off to basketball. Because I was watching and texting a buddy at the same time, we were both watching it, and I was like, "What's wrong with Luka?" And they say, "Yeah, he could." I started watching the second half. He could barely run down the court, And they said, "Oh, he hurt his back in the first half." Okay,
yeah,
it's always some kind of injury with him. But, but anyways, he did. He did this one thing where, of course, he started crying at the ref, and then up and down the field, you're still barking at the ref. Then he goes down to the other side and makes a stupid foul, gets like his 4th foul. I'm like, I've seen that a million times where he gets so pissed off and he just runs to the other side and just does a stupid foul on somebody.
I think it's different you know what's funny though? Emotions. I think it's different for a lot of Mavs fans now watching it from the outside looking in because you're like, damn, maybe he kind of was our problem. Like me, I already knew it. I'm like, my plan and my bet was, I'm like, maybe the Lakers will get him on some type of good dietary plan. Maybe, and I still got faith for next year. But yeah, when he played the Boston Celtics, when it was the Mavs versus Celtics, I'm like, they're losing because of Luka, man. He's giving you 30 points, but he's giving up 40. It ain't no help. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, but like last night, JJ Redick sat him on the bench a couple times. Like, hey, get on the bench, and the defense picked up immediately, but they couldn't score. So it was like, what the heck?
They couldn't score. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He had the stomach bug game a couple games ago, or a game ago before this one. I was like, man, stomach bug. He probably ate like a whole large pizza before he got on the court.
Luka, man, come on, man. I'm rooting for you, Luka. Come on now, come on. I'm giving you another year. But yeah, man.
Well, cool. On that note, where can people find us, Mike?
Find us. Send us an email, liveletthrive@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the places on social media. Follow us on LinkedIn as well. And thank you for continuing to listen to us.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.